So, quick question. If you masturbate with both your hands,
Surely.
is it regarded as a threesome?
Anything I'm gonna comment about that? I ain't gonna comment about what is masturbation first.
I don't know, you tell.
No, you're the one who
yeah,
the topic.
so
I need to understand what masturbation
it's
is.
like one of those things where you like grab
grab
your hand and then your hand
grabs another hand. No, grabs a third leg or
it grabs your gentleman's sausage and then you
rub against the two hands and the sausage. So that's what we literally call massage.
It's
not masturbation, it's massage.
It's like applying ketchup, you know. As in the
like when you're fries on the table and then you're trying to
or like when you're trying to wear a seatbelt.
And so that's what we call mastering on what your probation is about. So that is master probation.
Master.
Is that okay?
Yes. So anyways, might as well start. Welcome to Break Time on Westside, your Minisode edition. This is the final episode 5.
Wait, Minisode is what?
Mini episode.
Okay.
Alright, so so this is Enoch Magak, aka Double M. He's a radio presenter on USI Radio. Also a master's student, so he's supposedly more learned than I am. Probably, let me start with the updates. Battle of the Sexes comes back next week on Tuesday, and the fan favorite section has been kicked out. It has been one of the other shows that has gone through the axe and shall be replaced by one called Tweet Street, which will involve me pretty much diving into Twitter and bringing out some interesting topics from there. Now, that being said, on to today's topic. So I was on Twitter yesterday actually, and there was sort of like this discussion that had been brought up. So some guy just asked, why do you think most young people are into drugs and substance abuse? Enoch, why do you think most young people are into drugs and substance abuse? Before I get into some of the comments that guys had, because I'm going to have to start paraphrasing other than directly translating.
To me is peer influence or peer pressure, like you call it.
Interesting.
Sometimes we have never tested some other things, but when you hear your friends discussing about something, they're like, how does that thing test? Then now you feel like, next time I'll do it. So what happens is you'll go for a bash at your place, party after party, then you guys start now and then. I bet that's what addiction begins from. That's actually my main reason for drug addiction. But 2 can be,
You know, we don't have a lot of time to record this, right? Anyways,
you're asking too much though.
Anyway, so on the list of reasons, actually, yours actually did come in like once or twice. So there was peer pressure. There was someone who said we're a depressed generation. We constantly worry if we're gonna make it in life or not, and drugs distract us from those thoughts. And
wait, that's a fact, though.
Yeah, it is a fact. Like, I feel as though we're the most depressed generation right now, or the most mentally challenged right now, because it's like people
we are so broke,
so
bro. We are broke. We don't have opportunities to grab these, vacancies and get money.
Honestly, when you said grab, my head was somewhere else entirely. A lot of IG, a lot of social media has kind of made people think that, like they're living their best lives. Yeah, people might be struggling, and because you're always trying to show that you're better off than you actually are, like people end up sort of, how would I say?
I was actually alluding to that point you spoke about, we take drugs because we want to forget about some other things that we are not in control of.
Yeah, so that kind of also does fall into the next comment that I had. And the same guy was asking, was like, but drugs are a temporary solution. But what's there? That's the problem. Then there's...
That means you get high, when you sober up, everything is back to normal, like it was before.
Yeah.
in helping anything.
So the next one, my take is many young men are single, so they end up being in a relationship with drugs. Drugs never disappoint.
Where is this point coming from? Men are single.
And women like eating the transport money, aka
fair.
Yes, Madame Mukula fair. Now I will admit this is a very good reason. The drugs
fair.
The drugs will not eat the Uber money. The drugs won't eat your cash besides what you pay for it to consume. Because it won't come in, you won't decide to roll up a joint and then it starts telling you that it's on periods. I'm just saying. You won't.
So you think an alternative for sex will be drugs? Is that what you mean?
I'd say an alternative to drugs is sex. But I'm not going to publicly say that. I'll probably try edit that out. But actually, now that I think about it, make love, not drugs.
What kind of shit is that?
That sounds like a much better slogan.
Okay.
Alright, so the next one is education without employment. This state is suicidal. Our index one who scored all straight A's is currently in the rehab, sad state of affairs. Bro, funny enough, everyone who was like a straight A student that I know of
is a drug addict.
Well, I wouldn't say it's a drug addict, but they've just lost it one way or another. Whether
because
it was
you're
back
depressed,
in like
bro.
primary school or high school.
Do you know the efforts you put towards your grade? The moments that you spend every time until when and I mean, you know, life is not going the way you have practiced and you understand.
I never really put effort into my grades. No, because when I was in primary,
justifying the reason as to why you didn't please your parents when you're finishing high school and so forth.
No. When I was getting to primary school, it was, well, for me, it was a lot easier for me to process that information. So I only ever had to revise every so often. So I never really struggled all that much. When I was in high school, I was busy fighting with a different set of issues. I had my own mental challenges.
Did you end up in drugs at all? Because you were fighting ABCD and ABCD?
Funny enough, no. I'd just go home. Well, I became antisocial.
You didn't speak with anybody, you wouldn't talk to anybody.
Yeah,
even the watchman at your estate, you just get into the house and do your thing.
Mostly.
Alright.
So next one. Lack of initiatives, depression brought about by joblessness and peer pressure.
Fantastic. That one can happen.
Initiatives, they exist, but they're not really like well pushed to the youth. Depression brought about by joblessness, they're pretty much the same things. Lack of role models. I don't know. Our role models also smoke up.
Wait, is alcohol a drug?
It falls under like that category because it's called drugs and alcohol.
Drugs and alcohol, right?
There was another one that I saw about lack of money. I saw that and I laughed because I was like,
money.
If you have more money, then you just get more drugs. And anyways, the higher up you go in like the money scale, the more elite your drugs will be. Because you can move from like, well, you might not necessarily like bounce away from like weed or like alcohol, because even people who make a lot of money still do that shit. So you'll find that for some of them, they'll probably like move up to start doing coke, they'll start doing pills, like molly, acid, and so on. Although I won't lie, lack of money kind of restricts the kind of drugs that you get. Final conclusion.
Make more love, no drugs, the better. The thing is, by the way, I really know a lot of friends who have been taken to rehab because of this, addiction. Go to the gym and do something crazy over there. I mean,
or masturbate. It doesn't require drugs. Okay, I'm not advising against that. I'm not advising for that. Shit, this has been a totally screwed up episode and I'll probably edit everything out. Thank you so much for listening in and watching the two of us go back and forth. Enoch, thank you so much for being on the video. Regular podcast episodes will be coming back from next week, so you guys stay tuned for that. They'll be, as usual, the same 18 minutes of my regular half-assed banter. We'll see you guys later. Peace.
my take, as many young men are single, so they end up to be in a relationship with drugs.
It's probably
But
bullshit,
drugs
but
never disappoint. Madam who pull affairs out. So that's true, of course.